evil in human nature.
She wouldn't even harm a fly.
Just like I would tell you, if you're going to do something, do it well. And leave something witchy. Leave a sign to let the world know that you were there.
Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
Okay. Hello. So, hi.
Hey.
So, I went to see Pet Sematary.
Ooh, how was it?
It's good.
Was it everything you dreamed of?
It's just that I feel like, I know they had like a small budget.
Mm-hmm.
So, I feel like they crammed a lot of things into an hour and a half.
As it happens with any movie that's based on a book.
Yeah, but it was like a lot. There was like things maybe they could have skipped, but there was a lot of
Details?
a lot of images in the movie that are really shocking. Like, they really freaked me out.
Oh.
Maybe like the plot wasn't that great,
Mm-hmm.
but some images that I'll never be able to forget them.
Whoa. That's like me watching The Conjuring. Or the first time I watched, what's it called? Insidious.
With Darth
Yeah.
Maul appearing.
But, oh my god. Yes.
Yeah. No, seriously, that part, like, it freaked me out.
What about the part with the little boy dancing?
También. O sea, also. I'm like, oh, in Spanish. Also.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm Spanish.
I'm Latina.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay, so apart from that, how was your week?
It's good. Lots of things I had to do, and, yeah. How was your week? What did you do?
Worked every day. Today's my first day off. Well, I worked for 3 days. I had the weekend off, which was really fun. I drove.
Oh,
Did I tell you?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, so for those who don't know, I don't have my driver's license, and I don't know. Well, now I know how to drive. It's easy, actually. I thought it was gonna be like rocket science.
It's good.
Yeah. So I went with a friend. We took a late night trip to like this little town, just outside of Toronto, where like nothing happens at 2 a.m. So like all the parking lots are empty and the streets are empty. So like I drove in the parking lot first, and then he was like, okay, just like take this right here, and I went through like the neighborhood, and it was so cool.
That's awesome. I'm so happy that you got to do that, because you really feel like a certain sense of freedom when you're driving.
You know what? You do. It feels like liberating, and it feels like, I don't know. It was cool. It was awesome.
Yay.
I liked it. Yeah.
So welcome to Undercover Kevin, everybody.
Welcome.
The one who saw Pet Sematary is me, Paula. And the one who drove is Ale.
Hello.
Yeah, so we're back. And we're going to do some updates first. And then we're going to tell the story. But first, do we have shoutouts this week?
Well, yes. Well, Peter, we always have to
of
shout
course.
him out. Peter.
Peter's awesome.
That's it. It's just like, Peter's awesome. We just both go quiet.
Oh.
No, yeah. He is awesome, though. Thank you so much for supporting us. And you rock our worlds, like I said last week.
Yes.
Yeah. And shout-outs?
Shout-outs.
Let's do Kills and Chills in true Undercover Coven fashion, because I feel like we shut them out every episode. So Paula was on her phone. We were on camera, and Paula's on her phone. I was on my phone, and I was looking at a picture. So I was looking through my feed,
right?
And I had just commented on a picture of Ken from Kills and Chills.
Yeah.
And so I go and I was thinking in my head, I was gonna say out loud, I was gonna say, Ken is so pretty, and Paula goes, Ken is so pretty. And she was like looking at her Instagram.
And we like showed each other the phone, and we were looking at the same picture of Ken. And I know that sounds like so creepy and stalker-ish, but we swear we were not like, oh, let's look at people on Instagram. No.
It was a coincidence. Like she showed up on my feed and then in your feed.
Yeah.
And I was thinking in my head, like I was literally a second away from saying, Ken is so pretty. And Paula goes, Ken is so pretty.
My God.
So you're pretty.
Yes, you're very pretty.
So yeah, Kills and Chills, go check them out. They're funny and they are so pretty.
And very pretty. Yeah. Dan is also really pretty. I think it's so funny that Ken has red hair like me and Dan has black hair like you, but we have like the same exact like hair. I don't know. We have like a lot of similarities.
We have, yeah, we do. They're the Texas version of us.
Yeah.
That's it for my shoutouts. Do you have any shoutouts?
No. I was listening to Jonathan Van Ness's podcast, Getting Curious, and he's so I love him so much.
So if Paula introduced me to Queer Eye, because I have heard about it for so long, and I got obsessed with it. I saw the 3 seasons.
Oh my God.
Like, I'm in love with, like, the Fab 5 of them.
Yeah.
The Fab 5.
Yeah. Jonathan is awesome. His podcast is called Getting Curious. And he would, like, every episode, maybe there's a subject that people don't really know a lot about. For example, the one I listened to that was really interesting was called, like, What's the Tea with Vaccinations? Something like that. So he would have, like, an expert come in, and he would like, okay, so are vaccines vegan, or are is it bad to get like too many vaccines at the same time and things like that? Yeah. And it's like serious things, but he like adds like a funny element to it.
Yeah. Well, he adds a funny element to anything.
Yeah. So, if you can check that out, it's really good. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to mention, I don't know if it's too early, but I'm gonna mention it anyway, so everybody could get prepared. I am gonna do a YouTube channel, but I am going to, tell scary stories, like that episode we did for New Year's where we told, well, it's not creepypastas. It was like a no sleeps. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna tell stories.
Can I send you my favorite ones?
Of course.
Oh, yes. Okay, sorry. I go on Reddit a lot. I saw this one. Ooh, okay. So I'm just gonna do a little snippet of it because I might send it to you. So I saw this, I think it was Let's Not Meet.
Oh, okay.
And it was this girl who like lived in an apartment, and the apartment next to her was vacant. And so her bed was against a wall where the stairs to go to the second floor on the next apartment were. And so she knew that they were, like, the apartment was vacant. So this one night she heard like somebody going up the stairs and stopping midway, like to where like her head was on the wall. And just like, they just sat there. And she was like, that's so weird. They were like listening to like the TV or like listening to her like breathe or whatever. And so she got freaked out. She didn't say anything. The next day, the same thing happened, right?
Okay.
And she knew that there was somebody there because she would see like the people working on the apartment, like for the renovations. So nobody was actually living there. And then, so the next night, the same thing happened. So she called the cops and they came to check it out. And like this guy opened the door, apparently, like she didn't see him. But the cops said, no, like this guy opened the door, said that he had moved in just like a few days ago. And that was it. And like, and they were like, no, I'm sorry. Like he scared you, but like he moved in, he lives there. And so the next morning, apparently she like came out of her apartment and she saw the workers still working in the apartment. So she asked, and they're like, no, like this is still vacant. Like they haven't rented it out yet.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Creepy, right?
Yeah, send it to me.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
So, guys, when I launch and shit, You can. I'll tell everybody the name. Ali already knows, obviously. But check it out. Check it out. Support the people. Support it. Support us.
Yeah.
Yay! So
I'm so excited because, like you said, there's a shortage of female.
Oh yeah, it's definitely male. I listen to
female presence.
I listen to a lot of
Horror channels.
no creepypasta narrations, like narrations, like stories.
They're called horror channels.
Yeah, and they're always guys, and I'm like, no, there has to be girls, and I know there's some out there, but I want there to be more, so I'm just gonna like support the chicks.
I support that. You have my full support. But
Yay! Thank you. Okay, so we have a update on the Nexium case, which is honestly pissing me off. And I'm honestly happy that this happened. So Allison Mack, we know who Allison Mack is, the chick from Smallville, that she was involved in the cult. Listen to that episode if you don't know what we're talking about.
we're talking about Nexium.
Yes, Nexium. It was a sex cult, and Allison Mack would brand women. It was
physically brand them.
Yeah, it was her idea
FYI.
to start branding women. So it says Allison Mack took full responsibility for her involvement in Nexium and notably DOS. Remember, DOS is the the recruitment part of Nexium. So she said, quote, "I have come to the conclusion that I must take full responsibility for my conduct, and that is why I am pleading guilty today," she said through tears.
You laughing?
She also said that she coerced women into giving her embarrassing information and photographs known within the group as collateral in order to blackmail them into going along with Nexium and Ranieri's demands. We all know who Keith Raniere is. Keith Raniere is the leader. She said also, quote, "I'm very sorry for
fucking loser as well."
Yeah, I'm very sorry for the victims of this case. I'm very sorry for those I've hurt through my misguided adherence to Keith Raniere's teachings. All I can say to her saying like she's guilty is just like fuck that, because she should have realized that before.
Done it a long time ago.
Yeah, and she will be sentenced on September 11th of this year.
Yep.
So we'll have more updates. And then Keith Raniere's trial is on the 29th of April. So it's coming up. And hopefully he'll get like a big ass sentence.
Yep.
And he'll plead guilty because there's no denying what he did. Yeah.
You know what? It's funny because when you said, so she finally declared guilty to like all this stuff, and I was like, girl, we already knew you were guilty. We were just waiting for you to say it out loud.
Yeah.
Like she should have. It's whatever. Like at least things are happening. They're actually sentencing her, and also Keith Raniere or whatever, he needs to go straight to jail as well. So
I bet you he's gonna plead not guilty. And he's facing so many charges, including child pornography charges. So I bet you he's gonna plead not guilty.
Dude, why are people... I swear, he's so gross. He's such a loser.
Yeah.
I'm mad. Okay.
Remember, I told you, like, the whole Nexium thing pisses me off, but it pisses me off more when Allison Mack started comparing Nexium to Scientology, and I actually defended Scientology. That's where I draw the line. I'm like,
well,
no.
Think about this. Scientology is not branding anybody. It's not sexually assaulting people. They're not murdering people. They're not blackmailing. Well, we don't know about that, but
no, blackmail. I think there's definitely blackmail in Scientology.
Yeah,
but...
yeah, definitely blackmail. But if anything, they're just like stealing money from people who are willing to give them money. But at the end of the day, if you compare this, like Scientology is not as evil. Like this Nexium thing, I thought it was evil.
Yeah, it's just that...
And gross.
How do you... We talk about this on the episode, but how do you brand women?
I don't...
It's so disgusting.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. Okay, so on to today's awesome story that I have no idea what it's about because I didn't do the research because I suck.
No, it's fine.
But I'm the update girl.
Yeah, you are. So what we're gonna be talking about today, it is the mysterious murders of Honey and Barry Sherman.
Ooh.
This is pretty recent. It happened on 2017 here in Toronto, and it was actually called, let me see, one of Canada's, I think, most prolific. No, what do they call it? I wrote it down somewhere. Sorry, looking for it. Yeah. What is happening? Well, it was like one of Canada's like most like just crazy murders that has happened. Especially because of the circumstances of how like just mysterious the whole thing is. So we're gonna get into it. So December 15th, 2017, Honey and Barry Sherman are found dead in their Toronto mansion.
Okay.
So who were Honey and Barry Sherman? Barry Sherman, 75 at the time of his death. He was 75 years old and also was Honey. He was a Canadian businessman and he was the founder of Apotex. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah.
So it's a pharmaceutical corporation founded in 1974 and is one of the largest producers of generic drugs in Canada, with an estimated proceeding of over 1 million per year. 1 billion per year, sorry.
Oh, damn.
It's like those were they had a lot of money. So Barry and Honey met at University of Toronto and they got married in 1971. They had 4 children, Jonathan, Lauren, Alexandra, and Kayleen Sherman.
Okay.
So the couple was said to have donated over 50 million in total, like in the course of their lives. 50 million to charity, especially Jewish charities in Canada and Toronto and all that. So the couple was described as kind and good people and highly praised for and Barry was highly praised for his philanthropic practices and giving to the community. Right? On the other hand, so I read about this a lot. So when they first found him dead, like the story blew up in the which is funny because at the same time the whole thing with what's his name, we did an episode on him,
Bruce MacArthur.
I forgot about Bruce MacArthur was happening. It was like literally parallel. It was around the same time because the whole thing with him was October 2017, so everything was happening. So this story did blow up, but I feel like it was overshadowed by the Bruce MacArthur thing.
Definitely.
And so when this whole thing came out, like there were articles coming out saying that some people, like their reputation was kind of like divided, right? Because some people were saying they were such great people, they were a great couple, like they complemented each other great, they were like the perfect family, you know, they had like properties and they had this like very successful business and they were great, they give to the community, blah blah blah. And then other people were saying how, you know, they were under investigation for this, and then they were like known to it wasn't fraud, but like they weren't. Okay, so let's get into that. So the other hand that we're saying, there was a law professor from University of Ottawa who called Barry a deplorable human being.
Damn.
Because of his, that's a big word to call somebody. Like, you have to have know something that he did really bad, and like with affirmations, like
right.
Make sure that it is true for you to call somebody like that. And this was due to his business practices, saying that Canadians pay more for generic drugs than any other country in the world. And he was manipulating the system for his own gain. But if you think about it, he was the owner of a huge corporation. Don't all corporations do that?
Lie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they manipulate the system and find loopholes for their own gain.
Right.
That's why they're such big corporations.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it sucks, but...
I don't think, like, saying that a big company is lying or committing
No.
fraud or whatever. I don't think it's anything new.
I think it's just like a business tactic more than anything. And that doesn't mean that he was like a bad human being or an evil human being. He was just doing what he had to do to keep his business running.
Yeah.
But also, who knows, right?
Who knows? Yeah, true. True.
Yep. In 2011, the Winter children, who were his Barry Sherman's cousins, sued Barry because he allegedly never paid royalties in equity for Apotex, and used the proceedings from the sale of their late father. So this was in 1972. So when his father died, I guess he used all of the money that should have been divided between like the cousins and stuff like that, to buy his business. So he used it towards his business, and that's how he created Apotex.
Oh, okay.
So they sued him saying that, hey, you owe us money, technically, right? Mm-hmm. So at the time of his death, he was being investigated. This is all, it's not allegedly, but he was being investigated for sure. So at the time of his death, he was being investigated due to a fundraiser that he held for Justin Trudeau in 2015. Allegedly, he broke some of the Canadian lobbying rules. So what lobbying means is try to influence or persuade a politician of public official on an issue.
Okay.
So basically, it's like bribing them,
Right.
with votes, I guess, or like something else, to try to influence him on something, right?
Right.
So he actually Barry Sherman filed a lawsuit in 2016 trying to squash down the allegations. But the investigation was ongoing until the time of his death, right? So let's look at a bit of a timeline, and then we'll get into the crime scene and how they were found.
Ooh,
November
I'm excited.
27th. Yep, it's crazy.
Okay.
And kind of graphic, but so November 27th of 2017, the Sherman listed their house for sale. Their house that was on Old Colony Road in North York, Ontario, for $6.9 million.
Okay.
The house is beautiful, by the way.
Yeah.
December 13th, 2017, the Shermans meet with their builders because they have bought another property, and they were selling their mansion to build a new house somewhere else.
Okay.
So they meet with their builders to review the building plans for their new home, and that was the last day they were seen alive.
Okay.
December 15th of 2017, the Shermans were found dead at their North York mansion, found by the real estate agent. Their deaths are ruled as suspicious right away. December 16, 2017, they performed autopsies on the Shermans. And on December 17th, 2017, the cause of death is declared that the couple died from... So they called it, and I saw this in a lot of articles. They keep calling it ligature neck compressions, which is technically strangled or asphyxiated.
Right.
Right. And that's when their death was ruled double homicide. So let's get into the crime scene. The couple were found in their basement pool, both fully clothed, hanging by belts on the pool deck railing.
Whoa.
Barry Sherman was found with his legs stretched out, with one leg crossed on top of the other, as if like resting. Super weird. And his glasses sitting on top of his face, like undisturbed. Like it's like somebody put them there, like perfectly.
Whoa. Okay.
Don't try to look for pictures. I already tried.
I'm looking for pictures.
There's no pictures of the crime scene. You'll find pictures of the pool, which of course we'll put on Instagram. Mm-hmm. But like how the pool looked. Because it was like on the basement on the back of the house.
Pool.
Honey was slammed on her side right next to her husband and seemed to have been struck in the face. both of them were facing away from the water, and they were fully clothed with their coats still on. So which means they were either coming from outside, or because their coats were still on, but they were like pulled down like halfway down their shoulders.
Okay.
Right? Both tied by their necks by the pool railing with belts on one of which one of them seemed to have been taken from Barry's pants, and the other one like taken from somewhere in the house. So they were found by two real estate agents who arrived at the house with another company. By the company of a couple who was looking to buy the house. So we're coming to see the house.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah. The Shermans weren't supposed to be at home that day. So when the real estate agents got to the house, the housekeeper was like doing her normal routine. There was another woman like watering the plants and stuff, right? So nobody was expecting the Shermans to be at home that day. So the fact that they didn't see them or whatever, like it didn't strike them as weird. And the pool was at the back of the house. Like it wasn't like on a type of basement. It wasn't the basement, but it was like underneath the garage which went into like a basement type thing.
Okay.
And that's where the pool was. Right?
Uh-huh.
So back of the house, like the housekeeper, whatever, they got there, they didn't suspect anything. So the real estate agent started the tour, passed by the foyer, the kitchen, until they got to the basement, which had a pool with a railing like all around the pool.
I saw it. Yeah.
And a hot tub. You saw it, right?
Mm-hmm. I just saw it.
So there was no signs of forced entry or any points where like somebody could have made it in without hadn't been noticed.
Okay.
Okay, so on December 28th of 2017, their four kids hired a team of private investigators, actually, to look into their deaths. A year later, police is still trying to, now it's been a year and a couple months. Like, police is still struggling to, find out who did this because they just came up with, no results as to who could have been, no suspects. All of their leads just led to nothing and nowhere. Technically, their murder, whoever murdered them, or whomever or whatever, they seem to have vanished without a trace. Right? So the their lawyer actually accused police of mishandling information since they were found hanging from... So they were found hanging from their necks, right? So they were found asphyxiated or whatever. So the police just ruled it as a murder-suicide. Right away. Hours after finding them.
Not good.
So they treated the investigation as a murder-suicide.
Uh-huh.
So they could have missed a bunch of information. Which technically they give whoever murdered them time to run away. And clean up after them, right? But then the family and friends said it was completely out of character for them. There was no way that could have happened. And that's when they started looking at the scene closer, and then that's when they ruled it as a double homicide. So somebody definitely murdered them. So the kids are offering up to a $10 million reward to anyone who comes forward with info that could help solve the mystery. And the private investigators who were looking into it called the killings deliberate and staged in an attempt to fool police.
Right.
So the update that we have on it now, the last update, it was March 14th, 2019. So there was a new hidden clue that showed up, which was another kind of something that police missed. And maybe they are looking into it. Maybe it just seems so weird that this didn't come up when the investigation was ongoing. So a woman, one of the neighbors, told CTV that she actually handed over a CCTV footage of a car sitting in the Sherman's driveway the day before their deaths. A strange car sitting on the driveway.
Okay.
Now what's happening with the house is that it has been vacant for a year and it's been next to impossible to sell it.
Yeah.
And it's just sitting there. And this is a place where the houses are amazing. It's just mansions.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Like, I passed actually last Saturday in the morning. I was coming home and like I passed by there, and it's just, apparently, I think that's where, if I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong, don't quote me on this, but I think that's where Drake just bought a house. That neighborhood.
Fun.
Like, the mansions are beautiful, and that house is just like sitting there.
You should go and take pictures.
I should. Yeah, but I don't know if I'm gonna see when they're gonna destroy it. Okay, so the children filed an application to raise, in other words, destroy the house. And they're gonna sell like the lot, I guess, like the place, empty lot. And since it's just been sitting there vacant and they can't sell it, because the house contains stigma as one of the most notorious crimes in Canadian history. And one other thing that just came out a couple months ago. So Honey's will and testament went missing. So it has been missing and nobody noticed until now. They can't find it and they have like no idea who has it, where it went, like.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's a whole article about that. Let me see if I can like take a look at it.
How many kids did they have?
4.
It was one of the kids.
You know what? I kept thinking that, and I still think that, but I couldn't find, like, I literally look, the Shermans, the kids did it. Like, I looked so many times, and not one point they were investigated for the murder. Because I guess all of them had alibis, but what if they all did it together? But
you would have to look into like the relationship that the kids had with the parents, because maybe the will went missing. Let's say one of the kids had like problems with their parents, right? Mm-hmm. And then they didn't include that person in the will, and then that person killed the parents and made the will disappear. Because
eventually the money's gonna go to them anyways.
Right.
Oh, that would make so much sense.
Man, they should. When there's a murder between, like, a husband and a wife, and one of them gets murdered, the first suspect is always the spouse.
Yeah.
So in this case, it should be the kids.
Huh.
It should be the kids.
Huh. Yeah, and I thought about it for, like, when I was researching and all that, but I don't know, like, nowhere, like, specified. Like, nowhere, like, somebody, like, that they like, interview them, but not, like, investigated them for it. So it would make sense. Especially if, like, the will, that is such a, like, because they didn't steal anything from the house, like, there was just murder there. Like, they were just, according to the investigators, it looked like they were placed there.
Yeah, it's pretty staged. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So technically, no one reported being given the will for safekeeping, and when the police returned access to the family home where the couple was murdered, no last will or testament of hers was discovered. So they didn't find anything. And that is it. That's the last update that I had that I was able to find. It's just so crazy, and like, there's no way that nobody knows anything at all.
That's so bizarre. Man, you would think that a place that a lot of money, there's like a lot of money involved, maybe they had like more security cameras.
Right? Or like in the other houses too. Are you looking for like...
I need to know who did it. I need to know who did it.
You need to know. Listen, it's only been a year. I'm 100% sure that eventually they'll find, like, the whole thing with like Bruce McArthur is like, his victims, they finally found him after so many years.
True. But
and I know that they have like, so there is some, okay, so if you look at the suspects and stuff like that, it didn't really lead anywhere, but they're still pulling up people that they're like persons of interest that they're still like investigating or like interviewing and stuff. Like, it's not gonna be a cold case until, like, it's been so many years and they couldn't find anything. But so far, whoever did it, like, you're damn good at this. Because not even one clue.
Weird. Oh my god, I'm looking at a comment somebody left in an article about the deaths. And they're like, I knew it was the Illuminati.
It was Hitler death.
Let's not go there again.
Nope.
Man, I want to know what's going on here.
Isn't it, like, intriguing?
It is.
It's so intriguing because it's
the crime scene
like
is like pissing me off a little bit as well because it's so staged. That it's like, wait, why is it staged? Why is it so? It seems like it was well thought out.
Yeah.
So why? Why?
Why? Tell me why. I don't know. But yeah. That's all I have to say.
Look, Jonathan. Wow. That's not how you spell Jonathan. Jonathan Sherman, which is like one of the kids, said that the police refused to answer family questions for hours after his folks were found dead. Holy shit.
But you know what I find the weirdest? Is that after December 13th, they had absolutely no contact with their family. Like, nobody wondered how they were, like, not one call, one text. I always check in with my family.
Here's the other one. You know, Winter, the guy that had, like, beef with him?
Yeah.
Winter told British and Canadian reporters not long after the memorial service that the billionaire had twice approached him years earlier to, quote, whack my wife, allegedly because Barry was unhappy in his marriage. However, Winter flunked a lie detector test, and it was reported that Winter might have had a grudge.
Which, I mean, they were trying to sue him for money.
Man, it could be like kids or it could be this dude.
And if you think about it, people with money, they could have easily hired somebody. Do you know how the dark web is full of shit like this?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's where I'm going. I don't think it was physically any of them because they would have already caught them. But if anybody did this, it was somebody who was hired to kill them. Because her will being lost, like being missing, is such a key and such a specific thing to be missing. Like, what was on that will and that testament of hers?
Yeah.
And if you think about it, if they did the autopsies, okay, so now I'm like, my detective mind goes, if he died first, all of the money, so if, let's say he died at 8:55 and then she died at 9:15, all of his money would have gone to her, and then all of that money would go to whatever's on her testament and her will. So that's where I'm leaning towards, is that he was most likely killed first, which means by law, all of his money, all of his whatever's on his will go onto her because she was the wife, and then she died after, and so her will has to disappear because that means that money was going not to his side of the family.
Yeah.
was going to whatever was on her will.
Look, I'm looking at Reddit, and it says, rumors at Apotex is that the son, Jonathan, is responsible and that he did it for the money. So people are like, why do you say that? And he says, someone who works there told me, but he said that Jonathan was quick to come in and take over. People there got a bad vibe, and the angry eulogy he gave an angry eulogy.
He did. There's a video.
Seemed out of place.
It was Jonathan.
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 I think it was the kids.
I honestly, that's the only thing that I have to go on.
The only bad thing is that Kerry Winter, the dude,
Yeah.
he failed two lie detector tests,
Yeah.
but it's not that
Lie
accurate.
detector test. Yeah. No, because if you are really nervous, even if you're telling the truth, then you cannot pass a lie detector test. Or if you have like what's it called, like high pressure, like high blood pressure, especially being an older man, if you have a high high blood pressure, you can also easily just get a little bit like nervous and you will fail a lie detector test. Like, I understand lie detector tests, but I also don't think they're that accurate.
I would feel so good if it was one of the kids and I'm like, I knew it.
I mean, hopefully we find out soon. Like, it's just, I hope they can solve this, like, soon.
But like, where are the security cameras? That's like what's pissing me off.
I honestly have no idea. Like, I was looking and there's no way that there's not one trace of anything or anybody. And like, whatever this neighbor gave to the police, why is not that being investigated?
Yeah.
So there you go. Leave you with a mystery.
It pisses me off. I'm like, I need to know. Don't leave me like this.
Aren't you glad you didn't, like, read anything beforehand?
I am.
Because then you would have... See, this morning when you, like, texted me, I was, like... I kept, like, looking into it. And I just went on a downward spiral, like, trying to look for it.
Oh, definitely.
Articles and stuff.
Definitely. Oh, man. Okay, so my theory was it was one of the kids.
I think so, too. Yep.
Yep. So, do we have, are we finishing up?
Yep.
Okay.
Here we are.
Okay, do we have pet of the week this week?
We do! Okay. So our pet of the week is Arwen the cat.
Yay! A cat.
It's so cute!
Yay!
So again, the Dark Rose Pod, because they rock and they sent us... That is so funny, because next week we're gonna do...
Yeah, but
let's
yeah.
Yeah, anyways. They sent us a picture of Arwen the cat, and that's the pet, and it's a cute black and... I think it's like black and white. It's white and gray kitty cat.
Yeah, he's so
I'm looking
cute.
at it. I know.
His eyes
at
are
a picture
gorgeous.
They are, right?
Yeah, gorgeous.
So cute. So cute. So yeah, that's the pet of the week.
Yay!
Arwen the cool cat. And, yeah.
Kitty cat.
Kitty cat.
I love cats.
I'm okay with them.
I wouldn't have a cat, but I like the idea of cats, but they're not for me.
Not for me either. Also, I'm extremely allergic, and I think that's why I do like cats, and like I think they're adorable and cute. But But, well, technically, I could never have a cat. Because, like, I wouldn't be able to breathe the entire time.
Yeah. You know, my boyfriend is allergic to cats, and he has a cat.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And he doesn't get allergies.
Oh, no, when I would go visit Ariane, ask her. I sounded like I smoked, like, 3 packs a day. It was bad.
Yeah. No, but cats are nice. Like, I don't... All animals are nice for me. It's just that I'm more of a dog person.
Yeah, I'm a dog person, too.
And that's okay. There doesn't have to be, like, a fight between everybody.
Please don't fight. All animals should be left equal because they're all cute.
Oh my god.
I mean, if it was up to me, I would have a farm full of goats.
Goats! I love goats.
I love goats so much. They bring me so much joy.
They're fun. They jump.
They're so cute.
Great, now I have a dog on me. Excuse me.
Hi, lady.
Mira Lale.
No, she's just interested in kissing your face.
Okay, is there anything else? Do we have to say anything else? What are we doing?
No,
No?
I'm good. Do you have any other announcements?
Nope.
Yeah. Oh, also, I just wanted to... so last episode, we were talking about Carlos Pinto. So the reboot of whatever, of the
show?
El Día Menos Pensado, I think it was just a rumor because I started looking it up and I didn't see anything.
Oh, then it was just a rumor.
It was a rumor. And I was so sad by it. But that's okay.
I can't wait to watch The Twilight Zone.
I never watched that.
It's
I know what
good.
it is.
It's so good. I swear. I one day I was like, oh, I'm going to start watching The Twilight Zone. And I watched it from like the very, very beginning. And some episodes...
So is it like... It's not like Black Mirror, is it?
It is like Black Mirror.
Oh, okay, I'll watch it.
Yeah. The first episode like drove me a little crazy. It gave me like a bit of anxiety. Yeah, but you go... It's like individual stories that are like fucked up in a way. And... I loved it. And and it's the same thing as Black Mirror, that you don't have to like watch it from the very beginning to understand what's going on.
Episodes.
Yeah. And now Jordan Peele is going to be hosting the new Twilight Zone, so I'm so excited about it. Yeah,
oh my god.
There's a trailer and everything.
Can we thank Jordan Peele for single-handedly like bettering the horror genre?
Yeah.
He is... I was so pissed because throughout the years... You and I are like horror movie fans, and like my sister and I have been since we were kids. We're down for any horror movie, any gory film. Like that's our shit. Well, zombies are our shit. Like UFOs are for you, like aliens are for you. That's us with zombies. And we've seen such few movies that have been like groundbreakingly different, if I can say that, in the horror genre in the past years, like since Paranormal Activity came out, which they dragged along so much because they made like 8 movies out of that.
Yeah.
First 3 were amazing. Then after that, it was just like, another one? Seriously? But I'll watch it because, you know.
Yeah.
I'm loyal to the franchise. But Jordan Peele just comes out with things that it's like, oh my god. It's like things that are like everyday things that were turned into horror. And it's like, I didn't know you could have made like a whole plot out of this and made it a horror movie.
Like Get Out.
Like a thriller.
Like Get Out.
Get Out.
Get Out was awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, we should thank him.
Yeah. Did you see Us?
Not yet, but I want to so bad.
It's good. It's really good.
Everyone's raving about it.
It's so good. I loved it. I loved it so much.
Nice. Plus Lupita Nyong'o is in it. And
yeah.
I love her.
No, I like, what's his face? The guy. With his beautiful, beautiful thighs.
The guy from...
Black Panther.
Yeah, Black Panther. What's his name?
Winston Duke? Winston.
I don't know. Everyone in that movie was so fucking hot.
Oh yeah.
I died.
Winston.
Starting with Michael B. Jordan.
Winston Duke. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Baku from Black Panther.
Yeah.
No, but like, for example, when that question I answered from the Hollywood Horror Museum that said there have been a lot of extreme horror from frontiers to Serbian film. What's one subject matter that you consider taboo for horror films that you would refuse to watch? And I answered there isn't anything I wouldn't watch, because in the name of horror, everything is valid. Anything could be scary. Anything could,
for anybody, because everybody has their own different like things that are like. For example,
for me there isn't something that I wouldn't watch. Like, for example, people are saying, oh, animal cruelty, and it's because of the cannibal Holocaust, right? And I'm like, okay, yeah, I understand it. And that's an extreme kind of example, because the cannibal Holocaust did use a real animal, and they really did kill it. But, oh, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that. I just thought that, because I remember that movie was, like, completely banned.
Oh, yeah.
Because it looked so real. Like, the dead people, like, hanging on, you know?
Yeah.
And all that. And so they thought, like, for a long time, they thought that there was, like, real people being killed in real life. Which, now I'm thinking, I was like, no, but the actors are, like, alive and shit. But, I didn't know, like, they used a real animal and they actually killed it.
Yeah, the turtle scene, that was a real turtle. So, people were like, is there a limit to horror? And I'm like, there's not. As long as you're not hurting anybody. Like, it could be about anything. Like, you have a Serbian film that they use, like, baby abuse, you know?
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, I'm good. Yeah, so you have the Human Centipede franchise, which is, like, seriously one of my favorite movies. There's no limit to what can freak people out.
There isn't. That's what I mean. Because everybody has their own standards of what is horror.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, for example, yeah, my sister and I like zombies, but we're not, like, scared of zombies on a day-to-day basis.
No. But it's also, like... Is there something too extreme? And I don't think there is.
I don't think there is either. As long as they're not hurting anybody in real life television, like, you know what I mean? Like
the cannibal Holocaust.
Like the cannibal, yeah. I think, like you said, in the name of horror, everything is valid.
Mm-hmm. And for example, I told a person that actually started a conversation with me on Twitter about Salo. You know, Salo?
Oh.
And I'm like...
You fucking traumatized me with that movie.
And I'm like, I've watched the Cannibal Holocaust. I've watched a Serbian film, and I've watched Salo. I think I'm good in terms of, like, traumatizing images. And they're like, oh, I haven't watched Salo. And I'm like, okay, watch it, and then, you let me know.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, this person is completely fucked up, whoever created this concept. And I'm like, yeah, but that's, like, the magic of it. Yeah. It's, like, the same thing for me with Tom Six and the Human Centipede. Because, like, nobody does that. Nobody's gonna shock you. Everybody's gonna do movies that are, like 100% guaranteed to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like, guaranteed to succeed. But Tom Six is just like, I'm gonna push limits, I'm gonna shock people, and I love that. I love it.
Yeah. And I think that's what the horror genre is about. I mean, it's about pushing boundaries and about coming out of the comfort zone, and it's about the shock factor. That's what it is. I mean, the shock factor creates adrenaline, and I think that's why people who likes horror, which is my case, that's why people who likes horror watches these films for. Right.
Like, I look for that adrenaline rush everywhere now. Because I've watched so many good movies that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna read this book, or I'm gonna read this story on a creepypasta or whatever. Because I'm trying to be shocked. I'm trying to be like, holy shit, how did you come up with this? And I think that's the beauty of horror.
It is. No, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want those movies that I'm watching and suddenly, like, fucking Hereditary.
Hereditary.
Like, you're watching it and suddenly it's like super, because it's like, it's a bit quiet at times, but it's super quiet, and then something happens that literally makes you open your mouth and just stay there like,
yeah,
did that just happen?
Yeah, I love that. Like there were some scenes. There were some scenes in that movie where I'm like, holy shit, what is happening? And it gave me anxiety. And I'm like, this is magic. This is like the magic of cinema.
It is.
And I want it. And I'm good. You can make a film about anything. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, except for that film about an evil rubber tire that goes around and kills people.
John and I yesterday saw like this like a list of like the stupidest horror movies ever.
Yeah.
And there was one called The Refrigerator.
Okay.
Which was about a killer refrigerator. There was one called The Sand. That it was about killer sand.
Okay.
Sand that kills you.
Sure.
Like people on a beach.
You mean like... And then the sand... Ooh, I know about this movie.
Yeah, and then, what's it called?
Yeah.
And then they talked about Gingerbread Man, which was also about a cookie who kills you. And I'm like, okay, that's stupid. Like,
yeah.
If somebody made like a legitimately good horror movie on a refrigerator, sure.
Yeah.
But
like a cursed refrigerator or something like that, and you're like,
no.
God.
I'll give you an example. I'll give you a good example. Christine, the car.
Yes. Sorry, I got excited about
It's just a car. But holy shit. It's freaking...
You're
it's
terrified
weird.
of it.
Yeah. Like, that's good. That's good. But if it's not like... Like, for example, these people couldn't go barefoot or couldn't touch sand because it would, like, come up in, like, a little worm kind of thing. And then it would, like, eat you. And I'm like, okay, that sucks.
The fuck?
And there was, like, no premises for it, which was even worse.
Have you ever seen the movie? I think I told you about this last week. I don't know if I said it on while we were recording or after. Have you seen the movie The Ruins?
I watched it. I watched it when you told me to watch it.
You watched it?
And I loved it because...
Wasn't it good?
Because I was like, okay, this is about plants.
So that's a legitimate, like you're saying, like the sand thing.
Right. And then I'm like, okay, this is about plants. How are they gonna, like, pull it off? Because it's about freaking plants.
But it's not like The Happening, that it was also about plants, but it was fucking stupid.
But The Happening is
The Happening
stupid.
is ridiculous. It's like, compared to that, like, that's a bad movie made about plants, and then The Ruins is like a great movie that they were able to work it into it, that the plants were like murderous and, you know.
It's just that
I recommend that movie to everyone if you haven't watched it. It is a gory movie. And it kind of... So when my sister watched it, she went to the movies to watch it, and her friend... They had to walk out of the theater in the middle of the movie because her friend was like dizzy or something. So that happened a lot with that movie. Yeah. Because you do get a little dizzy because of how it is filmed. Yeah, but the plot is freaking amazing.
But the plot is great, and it's all because of the suspense it brings you, because they don't outright tell you that the plants are killing people. So
sorry, spoiler alert.
No, but it's still good, because I remember you told me about it, and then I looked it up, and I'm like, okay, killer plants. Yeah. But it doesn't take away the how scary the movie is, how freaky it is.
And then the setup and everything. You should watch it.
Yeah. So, yeah. That's it.
Wow, we had a whole, like, 5-minute rant, probably more than that, actually 10-minute rant about horror movies, and I like that.
Yeah, same. Okay, so we're gonna go. Remember to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Undercover Coven, and our email is undercovercoven@gmail.com. Please send us pictures of your pets, because we're running out of pet pictures for Pet of the Week.
Yes. So please send them.
Yes. Also check out our Patreon, which is patreon.com/undercovercoven, and give us dollars.
Dollars.
In the
I'm not gonna sing what I sang last night.
In the Instagram post, I even wrote dollars instead of dollars.
Yeah.
And yeah, remember to rate and review and please let us know what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. Don't tell us about the audio because we know it's shitty. But we would really appreciate it.
Yes.
We'll read it. If you post a review, sorry. We'll read it. Mm-hmm. So leave us a nice comment.
Yes. Please.
And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. We'll talk to you next week about, something.
About something which we're still trying to decide, but
it's a thing.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. You guys rock. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I almost dropped my phone.
Okay, guys.
And on that note,
have a great week. Bye.
Bye.